It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. You know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the Clip Out.
Welcome to the Clip Out Podcast, episode 458. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe. As always, looking at the clock, and then I turn around and I'm like, bang my head right into the microphone. We're off to a good start. This is the sort of quality you've come to expect from the Clip Out. 458 episodes in.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when you don't have somebody doing all the things for you, and you have to do everything yourself. I wish we had that kind of budget.
We need a full-on production team.
Well, it would be smoother. That's all I'm saying.
You think you got ads now?
I know, but we do have to give ourselves some grace here because full-time jobs plus it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And today I'm really stressing.
You're right. I do a lot around here. So what, pray tell, do I have in store for people this week?
Nothing, but I've got some stuff. So we've got a breakdown of several topics that came up in a recent Bloomberg article, which my guess is Peloton was not too thrilled to read.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. We're also going to talk about this really fun new podcast that Jon Hoskings is hosting for Peloton. We are going to talk about the new Miami Peloton and HYROX event coming up. Peloton and Precor, what they're doing next with their commercial business unit. And we are going to talk about Shriya Chitale and how she has a bunch of kind of insider knowledge she posted on LinkedIn. So we're going to talk about that. We've got a bunch of instructor news, including Samuela's book tour. So we're going to talk about that. And several other instructors also have updates. We're going to talk about when Ash Pryor can potentially be seen back on the schedule. The latest instructor to have a YouTube series, Cliff Weger, and what he was up to this week, not to mention what Marcel was up to. Both of them are very huge events. So we've got lots, and we are going to talk about the newest artist series. We've got a past guest update. And we also have several birthdays to hit and content as well.
Well, before we get to all that shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you find a podcast, you can find us while you are there. Be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. That is super helpful and greatly appreciated. You can also, if one episode a week is not enough for you, do we have a treat for you?
That's true.
Patreon.com/theclipout. $5 a month. You get ad-free episodes. You get all sorts of bonus content, and you get early episodes. This week over on the bonus, we like to talk about health stuff over there that isn't directly related to Peloton, and sometimes there's some
all kind of health stuff, just for the record.
Yes. This week we are talking about the latest thing people are injecting themselves with.
What?
It is thoroughly disgusting.
Oh, yay.
And from at least the sound of this article, it does not appear to be a scam.
Okay.
Like, it seems to be working.
Oh, okay.
But it's gross.
Well, I can't wait to talk about that.
Just letting you know.
All right.
It's super gross.
Okay.
We'll also talk.
Way to pull them in.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll also talk about the key factor to actually improving your health and fitness status as you age. It can be done. It's happening frequently. And what do you need to do? Talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to debunk strength training myths.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious.
And we're going to talk about...
I feel like you added a lot to the list.
I did. I did.
I'm like, I don't recognize any of these.
And we're going to... I got one more that you don't know about.
You're just over there being a little rogue.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about why the most crucial part of staying active and fit and ambulatory, it's your butt.
All All right.
I'm using the royal you.
Right.
It's not like all of our health relies specifically on your butt.
Well, thank God.
Yeah,
Because y'all
just
are in
mine
trouble.
does.
You're in trouble.
But it's the royal you for your butt. And then, of course, we'll talk Peloton stuff, Power Zone roadmap, and where some other instructors in the new stuff that we didn't get to in the regular episode. All that will be over on the Patreon. So join us, won't you? And then don't forget their 7-day free trial.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you could always just come in and listen to a couple.
You can
see
dip
if it's,
in, dip out.
See if it's to your liking.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/theclipout. You can also sign up for the newsletter at theclipout.com, which I did remember to send out this week.
Yay.
And finally, you can watch all of these over on YouTube, youtube.com/theclipout. So there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Peloton in the news.
A few weeks ago, Bloomberg put out a massive article
Yeah.
basically giving away Peloton's secret playbook.
Yeah. Apparently, they had like investigative journalism. Like they like.
People still do that?
I know. Shocking. Well, like. Just let me digress for 2 seconds here. It is actually quite shocking that Bloomberg can do this kind of investigative journalism about Peloton, but like we have the shit going down in the world that is, and like nobody's doing anything about that. But anyway, yeah, I did think this was interesting because they reached out to employees that work there now. They reached and some instructors apparently, none of which were on the record with their names, which was smart.
Yes.
But also people that no longer work at Peloton, they reached out to. And I just thought this was interesting because this is the first time Bloomberg has kind of gone after Peloton in this way.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that, but I just find it very interesting.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, there was a lot. One of the biggest things was that they basically went through and talked about the entire article is like what the roadmap is, what's not going to come to fruition, what is going to come to fruition, and a lot of the why, or at least the perceived why.
Right.
So, where do you want to start?
I guess let's start with what they're not doing.
Okay. So they did scrap officially a couple of products, which I had suspected, but since nobody had said anything,
Right.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
We had talked about a while back that somebody had received a package, like they got a tread that came in the mail or a bike or whatever that had been delivered to their house.
Yeah.
It had documentation in it that was incorrect. And the documentation literally was showing an upgrade kit for a monitor to the new bike, like the newest cross-training monitor that you could then use to upgrade your regular bike or your regular tread.
Okay.
So it was a kit to
Right.
upgrade that. And so, we thought, well, maybe this is in the works that they're going to be selling it. Well, it was in the works,
Right.
but then they scrapped it. It was a clip-on device that you could add to your existing setup that would allow the camera to be upgraded to do all of the Peloton IQ things that we're seeing on the new hardware.
Okay.
They ended up scrapping it. And the interesting thing about this is that when they scrapped it, they didn't announce it. So people have just been asking and asking and asking, and Peloton just said nothing. So it's just kind
Right.
of an interesting choice.
Yeah.
But they also said that there were too many pieces of the legacy system that would need to be replaced. So it wouldn't be practical for a customer just to swap out the necessary parts on their own.
Yeah. Which I guess makes sense. It's not as simple as just like remove this monitor, install a new one.
No, and that's what people think. Like I saw some person who just thinks they know everything yesterday.
They're lying to
No,
us.
they didn't even say they were lying. They were just like, I don't want an upgraded kit. I just want to swap out my monitor. And it's like, well, girl, that's nice, but it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, though, like according to what we've heard, when you can use a simple cord like this and put it into the new one,
Yeah.
but just because it works, it makes the image show on the monitor doesn't mean that it gives your monitor or your camera the ability
Right.
to therefore be able to do all of the IQ things that it does that the new equipment
Right.
does. So like
And it might
there's a lot of pieces here.
It might be giving it enough power to work, but it might not be giving it enough power to work long term, or it's giving it too much power, and
Yeah.
long term it'll screw it up.
Totally.
Like there
are a lot of things that we don't know.
Yeah.
And so that is the reason that was given. I'm going to assume, since this is all off the record, there's no reason to lie about it,
Yeah.
right? Like why would a person who's going behind Peloton's back and giving this information then lie about
then lie
the
to
reason?
protect their image?
It just doesn't
yeah.
make any sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, but that's what they're saying.
So we also have information about the lower cost treadmill.
Oh, well, we're not done with
Oh,
scratch
I'm sorry.
products.
I didn't realize.
That's why there was two.
Oh, okay.
The second product that was skipped, which is a really big one, the company had been testing for 2 years a gamified version of the bike. Not like it would be a new bike, but like you could ride the bike in a gamified way, a la Zwift.
Okay.
And it had been tested. It had been beta tested. They just scrapped it with no explanation to anybody. And so it just went away. It was called Project Kinetic, for people who are wondering. But it's actually been discontinued since the fall of 2025. And nobody knew what the silence meant. So everybody thought potentially it could still be coming out.
Right.
But no, this report says it was not. It doesn't. This one they took out of the picture because it does not connect directly to Peter Stern's overall roadmap.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Insert awkward silence here.
It is because and I've told folks at Peloton this. Peter Stern needs to get in front of the people.
Yeah.
Because this is the type of thing that without any context really makes him look not great.
Yeah, it is confusing. Like, if you have this thing that's essentially done, why would you not just push it out and let it live or die on its own?
There's so many people that really love the gamified stuff.
Yeah.
And gamified things are kind of what people think is going to be the future. So it's confusing that Peloton would just, after 2 years, scrap this. Now, I will also say it's not hardware, and they were spending a lot of money on hardware. It could just simply be there's only so many things that you can launch at the same time, and maybe it wasn't smart to do both. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's just it. You're going to make up whatever reason you want when you don't have facts. So
absolutely.
there you go.
So let's talk about the lower cost treadmill.
This is referred to obliquely, sorta.
We got to work on your obliques.
You do. During the last earnings call, Peter Stern did say that there would be new equipment announced in the next 12 to 18 months. So what is showing up in this report is a lower cost treadmill. So they're saying that in late 2027, you're going to see a treadmill that's going to come up priced between $1,500 to $2,000 price range. Now, there are people that are like, why can't you just lower the cost? Well, because it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like, people are just so stupid.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating. It's like dealing with everybody every day is a lot.
It is.
Okay, but seriously, why can't they? Here's why they can't. Because they're using specific parts and machinery that was put together in a specific format to cost $3,000.
There's a hard cost.
There is a hard
it's
cost.
just non-negotiable.
And like, if you were paying attention, person who annoys me with their stupid comments, to the earnings call, you would know that like when you see their financial statements, they're not making any money on the hardware. They're making money on the subscription.
Right.
And so you can't just delete piece, like you can't just say, well, now we'll sell it for half the cost. You have to make changes to the things that go into it, and you have to change how you're making it. You have to change maybe where it's made. You have to change the parts that it's made with, et cetera, et cetera. So in theory, we're going to see $1,500 to $2,000 treadmill coming out. And the additional possibly unintended consequence of this coming out is that now nobody is going to buy a treadmill. Congrats. Why would you know one's coming that's cheaper? Why would you spend the money?
Yeah, the only asterisk I could put on that is seeing the Tread and the Tread Plus.
Dude,
like what's a $1,500 treadmill look like?
I agree. That's my largest concern too.
Yeah.
I love my Tread Plus. Like you will have to pry it from my cold, dead hands before that thing goes anywhere, unless it just dies on its own.
Right.
And I just can't even imagine what a $1,500 one looks like.
I'm very
But I will
skeptical.
also say there's lots of decent treadmills out there, but they don't have connected fitness built into them.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, there's just a lot of questions around this one and skepticism, at least on our part, of the quality of said treadmill.
Yeah.
I mean, Peloton's never put out a substandard product.
No, and for all the flack that they get, I will say, I can hear people yelling at us and screaming at us right now.
Especially when, like, someone did die on a treadmill.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there.
But in terms of me saying they've never put out a substandard product.
Well, what I was going to say is that there are a lot of people who have had major issues with their tread. One of the biggest complaints is that if you move your tread, it's dead.
Okay, that's fair.
And there's a lot of people that have only had it for like a year and have to replace the base.
Yeah.
And the base is not cheap. That's why you should always get the extended warranty when it comes to new tech. But I mean, on the flip side, I've had mine since 2018 and it's still going strong. I mean, knock on wood.
Right.
So I feel that way, but there are a lot of people that would argue that point.
That is fair. Like we have not had that experience. So, but yeah. So it does. I'm very skeptical.
I know
of the quality, not to be shitty, but
I know.
Yeah. So they also talk about their biometric integration.
Yeah. So this one is interesting because it's basically taking information from companies or wearables like a Whoop, like Fitbit, Garmin Connect, Apple, and you see the data, the system, Peloton system sees the data, and that is part of what they're using to give you recommendations. So, for example, they don't actually do this with Whoop, but like in a perfect world, this is how this would work. They would see like, ooh, you got a red today. You drank last night. Is rough. Today is not the day for you to go out and do a 12-mile run.
Right.
Like you need to maybe do some yoga, that's all. And that's the kind of thing that we're looking at for this. But the other piece of it is that Peter Stern says, and I think there's a lot of good points to this. The more you can direct people to actually not have to make a decision and they just get on their equipment and go, the more that they're going to work out. And I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I saw that just with my personal trainer. I really enjoyed using Trainwell. I don't know why I always want to call it a different company name, but it's called Trainwell. And I loved it because I never had to think about anything. It was just done for me.
Well, and I've said for years, it's one of the things I like about Tonal is that I sign up for a program and then I don't have to think about what my next thing is for 4 to 12 weeks. I just hit the button and do the next thing in line. And so, people always joke about skipping leg days. And I'm like, I've never skipped a leg day because I just do what's next.
Exactly. And so he talks about decision fatigue. And I do think that is a very important point. And I again, there's always somebody who's like, I've never not worked out because I had to make a decision. And that's great for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Okay.
But like, just because whatever way you work out doesn't mean that applies to everybody on the planet. So if Peloton
if it was
is
that
trying,
simple for everyone, that we'd all be in amazing shape.
And
You're arguing with the hypothetical asshole.
Well, it's not hypothetical.
I know,
like,
but just like the conglomerated hypothetical asshole. Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So, was that it on the biometric stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
I didn't want to move on and get yelled at.
Sorry.
And also, we've talked about this a little bit on the show, but the outsourcing to Poland and apparently India.
Yeah. So the big update here is that the engineering is being outsourced to Poland and a lot of the back office stuff is being outsourced to India. So
I wonder if this is part of what's leading to a cheaper treadmill.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. And then people bitch about that too. But like, if you want Peloton to be here, every company has to figure out how to be successful in today's parameters, whatever those are. And today's parameters are a freaking shit show.
Yeah. And a constantly moving target.
Yes, thanks to the
Yes.
So anyway, since it is like, what are the things that you can control? You can control the cost. It's cheaper to do business with companies that are in other countries. Now, is that right? Is that fair? That's a whole separate debate that we're not going to get into here.
But the reality is,
if you want Peloton to survive, they have to be different. You can't just beat your head up against a wall and be like, well, if I do the same thing over and over again, I hope that works out for me. I mean, that's what happened to Sears, Montgomery Ward's, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So anyway, that's the big thing. I saw some comments also about like, well, do they even know how to use the GAAP principles in India? Well, yeah. I mean, just because they're not located here in America doesn't mean they can't follow our rules.
Right.
Other countries follow our rules better than we do half the time.
Yeah.
But regardless, like it's very small-minded, in my opinion, to think that just because people don't live in our country, they can't do things to our standards.
Right.
It's just
And to think that no one at Peloton has thought of that.
right.
Like it's
right.
literally all they do all day long.
Yeah. Now I will also say, this is a standard playbook. Get rid
Yeah.
of a bunch of people and then outsource, and that's how. But it's a playbook because it works.
Yeah. It sucks, but
It does suck.
Again, the reality of the situation.
Absolutely.
And then finally on our list is Peloton leaning into targeting GLP-1 users for growth.
Yeah, and just to be clear, that doesn't mean Peloton is going to start like selling weight loss medications. That
Or
just means
even necessarily encouraging weight loss.
No.
But just again, the reality of the situation is GLP-1s are a dramatic shift in how people are approaching their health. And one of the most important components of GLP-1 is they tell you don't just rely on the medicine for the weight loss. You need to be exercising on top of it. And so they're going to try to scoop up those people who maybe historically have not exercised because it just felt like a never-ending no-win proposition.
Exactly.
And so I do think there are a lot of people that I know, like the stereotype is you get the shot, you lose the weight. That's all you care about. You weren't quote unquote good enough.
You weren't doing it the right way.
You weren't doing it right. But I do think there are people that once they start to see the weight fall off, they get in the mentality of like, well, now working out doesn't feel like a waste of my time in the way it did before when I would work out for 6 or 8 months and lose 3 pounds.
Again, there's just like this huge variety of people and how things affect them. So, maybe it's now exciting for them to work out. Maybe it's now like a whole new mindset because they've lost a few pounds and they've gotten a little bit of confidence back. And now it doesn't feel like, why bother? Like depression is real when you're overweight. Like that's a real thing.
And it can feel futile.
Exactly.
To be working out and feeling like you're making no progress, to where if you can see the progress, all of a sudden adding the working out doesn't feel like quite the hurdle.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So we're going to take a quick break here, and coming up, we will continue with Peloton in the news. We'll talk about Peloton's latest podcast and another Peloton and HYROX partnership, and Precor and Peloton making their mutual debut at trade shows. So stick around.
Clip out.
So Peloton has launched its newest podcast, Across the Table. What is it?
At the next table.
At the next table.
Peloton at the next table. I'm sure it's really hard at this point to come up with new podcast titles.
I think the last original podcast title name invented was the Clip Out. I will say, evidenced by the fact that our website is not clipoutpodcast.com. It's just theclipout.com. So take a little pride in that.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So, this is going to be a podcast that is hosted by Jon Hoskings. The people that the first episode dropped this week, and the guests that were on it were quote unquote the girls. And it was Tunde, Kirsten, and Katie. And they refer to their group chat as Dream Girls. That's great. So the episodes last about an hour. I mean, if we can go by this first one.
Right.
And we know for a fact that the next iteration of episodes is going to include some kind of mixture of Alex Toussaint, Adrian Williams. There's going to be Cody in there. We're going to have a Maddie. We're going to have an Olivia. We're not exactly sure what that configuration is going to look like.
Don't know the order or the configuration is.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah. But I do think, for just watching the video, I might have watched it obsessively a few times, but it does look to me like we've got Alex, and I think we've got, since we had a girls episode, I am making an assumption we're going to have a boys episode.
So that makes sense.
I think that's going to be Cody, Alex, and Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea what could possibly be the other one, which appears to be Olivia and Maddie. But I'm here for it because those two have always had a special relationship since they started. And
but what's the theme?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So Elizabeth took a little look at the transcript of this episode, and they had some really deep moments in this. Like, this is the whole idea of it. It's not scripted.
Right.
They get asked questions and then they talk about it. So one of the things that Tunde talked about it was Tunde's 2020 Speak Up ride and how I'm getting chills just talking about how much that meant to her.
Right.
I mean, if you revisit the headspace we were all in 2020,
Yeah.
it was a dark freaking place.
Yes.
And she said that she felt it, that 22,000 people were writing live. No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. And she said that the more honest and the more raw that she got, the leaderboard stayed up. Like, sometimes, I guess, from their perspective, they see the numbers drop after
Yeah.
they've said something.
Yeah, it's like getting ratings in real time.
It
You can
is.
watch the numbers grow or contract.
Exactly. They also had just other moments, but they talked about the green room, and specifically that there were times when the green room is all women, and they said the tears, the support, someone powdering your face after a hard moment, walking out 5 minutes later and saying, "What's up, Peloton?" to 22,000 people.
Yeah.
How hard that is. Like, I mean, really think about it. You have a shit day. Like, you're mad at your boss, you're mad at your partner, you're mad at your spouse, you're mad, whatever. And you have to put on a face and go out in front of all those people and act like there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
That's not easy. That's not easy.
I have the theme to Friends stuck in my head now. When you were like listing all the things, I'm like, your job's a joke, you're broke, your love life's DOA.
DOA.
Now you gotta go out and do a Peloton class. But they'll be there for you.
They will. I'm gonna cry, but they will, and that's Peloton.
I give you a dramatic reading of the theme to Friends. Ahem.
Oh my god.
It's more dramatic than I thought.
Hormones.
Hey. We're the monkeys.
So, that's just a little tiny snippet of what you get with this podcast.
Yeah.
Eager to see what else they bring.
A roller coaster of emotions.
Indeed.
Yes. So Peloton and HYROX have a free Miami event for people.
They do. It's called the Power Up, and they've been doing this in other cities, and this one will be no different. They're going to have it in Miami.
Will
And
Mario be there?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Power-ups.
I didn't ask, but yeah, this could be just before the actual HYROX event, so you're going to be able to see all the Peloton people that are there and interact with them, and I think kind of do a warm-up, basically, kind of like you would do a shakeout run for a marathon.
Gotcha.
Very cool.
So Peloton and Precor have combined Wonder Twin powers activate
Yes.
into the commercial business unit, and they have begun to make their debut at trade shows across the land.
Yeah, and we talked about last week that they were at HFA, but now they are showing up at other trade shows, and this one is FIBO. FIBO. I'm sure fitness is in there somewhere.
Tracks. Or they just like tell people little lies. Oh, you look great.
But part of what's interesting about this is that they are going to be going to several of these different trade shows, including in the UK. So really showing people, like, we take the power of Precor, we take the power of Peloton, and we put them together, and we have some really cool stuff for your gyms, for your commercial spaces. And so that's really cool to be able to see. They're also going to be having, the commercial series is going to be there, but Precor is also going to be showcasing their new strength equipment, including the Discovery GHD bench, the Discovery Decline chest press, and the Resolute Strength Inner Outer Thigh machine, expanding the portfolio with new benches, racks, and selectorized options designed to support a wider range of strength training environments.
Okay. Selectorized? Is that like a... I feel like that would have a TM after it. That's not a real word.
That's a
word,
press
is it?
release. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
And then, hopefully I'm saying this right. I'm just mimicking what you said earlier. Shriya Chitale
But we're going to go with it.
was talking about just some insider stuff about the launch of Strength Plus. Not like forbidden stuff, but just an interesting look into what went into launching said product.
Sheria is a product marketer, at Peloton. And she talked about what it's like to do that product marketing, specifically how she approached the Strength Plus launch from positioning to post-launch life cycle, and how Peloton actually measures launch success. And it's not just downloads,
Right.
which is also interesting.
Yeah.
And why purpose-driven products require a completely different kind of internal storytelling. So there's a whole podcast, and you can hear all of these things. It's very interesting.
Yeah. And we got the link to that.
We
if
do.
you want to check it out.
Instructors in the news.
Samuela has announced his book tour, and he's sweeping across the U.S.
He is. We've got lots of different cities, and I want to note that he said this was his first drop of cities. I don't know if he was just delirious with excitement when he wrote this. I don't know, because people are traveling
Right.
long distances, so I kind of hope that he doesn't have like the cities people are traveling to.
Right.
But anyway, we have several different cities that are coming. He had originally asked, like, what cities do you want to see me in? And then there's going to be, he's going to be at New York. He's going to be in New Jersey. He is going to be in Denver, Chicago. He is going to be in, I feel like Boston, I said. There's like 5 of them. So this is going to be really cool. It's all going to be happening in May. And we're also hoping he's going to be teaching a class in New York while he's there. We can hope. But the tickets, listen, he had a pre-sale that started yesterday. So by the time you're hearing this, it's already been on sale for a few days. If you're interested in this, you need to get on it. These are not small venues. This isn't like at a bookstore where you just stand in a line. This
Right.
is like going to be a whole evening.
It's a House of Blues in Chicago, which I think
Yeah.
is like, I think that seats about 3,000.
Yeah, it's pretty big. And he has specific VIP meet and greet tickets that could be gone by the time you hear this. I
Right.
don't know. But I will say that, like, I just want to, like, put into your head, this is going to be an evening of Samuela. This is not just like you go to a library with a book and you, like, have somebody sign it. This is a whole thing.
Yeah.
And he is so excited about it.
Yeah.
Like, his excitement is coming through. And I hope this is just as successful as I feel it should be.
Well, and I will also say, when you said he hinted that there might be more cities, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are U.S. cities.
What a great point.
You know? So,
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally true.
Just-
He does live in the UK.
Right.
Maybe he wants to have some UK dates.
could be.
God, I'm so American. Jeez, I'll say it for you.
So we have an update on Ash Pryor's surgery.
We do. She is recovering from that surgery, but also, and I think more exciting, she is back on the actual schedule coming up in May. Now, anything could happen. So, like, don't hold anybody to this, especially Ash, because she needs to focus on getting better.
Sure.
But May 24th, she is showing her date back. So we are hoping that her recovery continues to go well. She still has an amazing, great sense of humor about this. I see her posting all the time about her updates. And I hope that she continues to do great and comes back on May 24th. Can't wait to see her there.
Fingers crossed. Alex Toussaint, not to be outdone by Jon Hoskings, has launched his own YouTube series, Inside the Lab.
I just want to say, I was thinking about this because I wake up at 3 a.m., perimenopause. And I was thinking about this last night. I actually called this 2 years ago. When he first did his gym at home and he got all of his little weights all customized with his little name and his little logo, he was talking about how it was in the lab, and he had Tunde and some other people. And I was like, this is more than just his gym.
Right.
Something is happening. And then silence. Nothing happened until now.
Yeah.
So I don't know why the timing changed. Lord only knows, because I know with all the behind the scenes stuff that can occur, a million things can go wrong. But he has finally put out his new series, and he started with Wiz Khalifa. Is that how you say it? And that's quite a first guest.
Yeah,
that he
for
has.
sure.
But I think we can see, I have a feeling we're going to see some Peloton instructors, and they might be old episodes.
Like it's been banked? Yeah.
I don't know that. I'm
Right.
just saying, I clearly remember having this conversation back then.
I will say, when launching a podcast, it's very easy to get in this headspace of you're talking about it and you're waiting for everything to kind of feel perfect.
Dude.
And I mean, I know when Kevin and I launched Real Spoilers, like, we sat there and talked about it for months and months. And finally I was just like, look, we just need to do one, and it's gonna suck, and we'll look back on it and be like, that's not how we ended up sounding. But, like, if you don't do it, you'll never do it, which is why when we started this, I was like, when we had the initial idea, I was like, we need to park the car because we were in the car. And I was like, we need to start right now.
You did.
Like, there's none of this. We're going to sit here and talk about it for 4 months. Like, we're just going to go. And we did.
We did. I mean, we did it that weekend.
Yeah.
Like, we did it that weekend.
Yeah.
Like, it was like no joke because when you said it, you were very serious about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
And we recorded and it was awful for me.
And if we actually recorded one and completely scrapped it and did it again.
Yeah.
And, you know.
It took me like 9 tries just to be like,
Welcome
to the clip
out.
I literally was like,
Yeah.
welcome to the clip out. Like, having this big microphone in your face is super overwhelming. You don't think it is till it is. And then
Yeah.
you're just like, what if I don't say it right? What if I don't like? I mean,
Yeah.
like, every negative thought you've ever had about yourself, they all show up at once
Yeah.
when you do something big like that.
It's like Mike Tyson used to say, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
It's true.
Cliff Wenger has completed his first half marathon and did an amazing job.
He did. It was the Berlin half,
Mm-hmm.
and he finished in like 3:22, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And he was there with his friends from Peloton. I know Eric was there, and I'm not sure who all was there in filming, but it was just like, I think it was Eric that crossed the finish line with him.
Yeah.
And paced him. But they all were there together supporting each other, which was really cool. But congrats to Cliff. That's a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely. Speaking of huge accomplishments, Marcel Maurer was at HYROX London and got a PR.
Not just a PR. He got a PR in the pro category.
Yeah.
He finished in 1 hour and 10 minutes and 36 seconds. That is beyond incredible.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, that is unheard of. I mean, obviously people have done it, but like, I just can't even imagine it.
It's exceedingly rare. How about that?
Yeah. But congrats to him. What a huge, amazing accomplishment.
Selena Samuela is returning to her triathlon goals.
She is. I thought this was so cool. You might remember a while back that Selena had big goals and ended up kind of scaling them back right after she had recovered from her first pregnancy.
Yeah.
Well, now that she has done with her second pregnancy with twins, no less. Like,
Yeah.
more difficult.
Yeah.
She is starting small. I think she has adjusted her mindset, which is very cool and necessary. That recovery is not just like, I'm done having the baby, so my body is back to normal.
Ta-da.
Yeah. And she is going to start with training for some smaller, like the shorter distance triathlons. They have like different categories. One's called a sprint, one's called an Olympic, and then you get to the longer distance ones. So when I say smaller, I'm referring to the distance. And then she hopes to eventually work up to a full Ironman. She's hoping by the end of this year. So we will see how that.
Pretty quick.
It is pretty quick.
Yeah.
And but she said dreams, and she has a mindset. I can just see it in her head that it looks so different than it looked the first time she did it.
Right.
Because now she's like, this is what I want to do. The world doesn't end if I can't do it at this time frame. I can still do it. And you can just see the shift, because whenever she tried the first time and had to back down, I saw the sadness.
Yeah.
We all did. And she just looked really upset. So I think she's really adjusted her mindset. And that in and of itself is such a huge and powerful thing.
Absolutely.
It really is.
And finally, for this segment, Bradley Rose celebrating 5 years with Peloton.
Yep. It's hard to believe that's already been 5 years. I know we say that every time.
Yeah.
But also, like Peloton has done for every other milestone since Kristen and Ross left, they are adding a milestone category for Bradley Rose. So
Like
there's
a greatest hits collection.
There is now a greatest hits collection that you can get. And I think like 51 classes got added. So that's really fun.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like a check mark on their, like, I think it's like I picture each instructor having a journey, and that's like a new thing you get to add to your journey now. And I think it's cool.
And that's not the only collection that's out there.
That's right. We also had this week that dropped was a new collection for Benny's sing-along. Epic sing-alongs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And this is his first collection as far as I know, so that's really exciting.
Oh, sweet.
Benny loves these classes. They only put 3 of the classes in it, but there are more to come, I'm sure. So congrats to Benny. I know that was a huge deal.
Peloton artist collaboration.
The latest artist series features Justin Bieber.
Yeah, it's going to be around 2 because we have had a Justin Bieber
Okay.
before, but it is going to be coming up this week. It's going to start on Thursday, April 2nd, and it's fun because there's going to be, of course, just like all the artist series at this point, they have across the different modalities. It's not just going to be cycling, so it's going to be all of them.
Yeah.
And there's going to be several different classes. We've got sculpt flow with Greta and a full body strength with Rebecca and a run with Adrian. Like there's just tons and tons of classes. So definitely do not want to miss this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you didn't get a chance to see it, you need to go to our article and you need to watch this video that Greta and Olivia did as Bieber fans. It includes crawling. It includes one of them holding the other like a baby. Like they were in it.
Okay.
They were in it. They were adorable. Like it needs to be watched. It needs to be watched.
Coming up after this, we've got a past guest update, and we're going to talk about content, all the classes that you should be contemplating, so stick around.
Past guest update.
You might remember Allie Feller, Allie on the Run, episode 221, for those of you playing along at home.
Gosh, that's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. But she has made the cover of the Boston Marathon program.
Yeah, this is a huge deal. A lot of you know and have been following Allie's journey through cancer, her second round, and now stage 4, and it's been brutal.
Yeah.
And they took her to the Boston Marathon facility, like where they have it, and she gets to do a lot of those behind the scenes things because she's announcing.
She does a lot of announcing for these. Even before this,
yes.
don't make it sound like they're
No.
treating her like a Make-A-Wish kid or something.
Not at all.
Yeah.
She's done all these, but she's very locked into this entire community. And her podcast is about running, so that makes sense.
Right.
But they brought her there to see the program, and like they were filming her, and you could tell she had no idea that she was on the cover. They surprised her with it, and it was a big reveal, and it was a very sweet moment. So
that's really cool.
It was very cool. Congrats to Allie. Well deserved.
New content.
It is time for the TCO Top 5. You have told us your favorite classes, and now here they are. Number 1, your favorite sing-along ride.
Okay, well, not shocking this week. Number 1, we had a couple people recommend this. It was the 45-minute epic sing-along ride with Jen Sherman, and it was taught on March 29th at 9 a.m. Deborah Onzelone, I never can say her name right. Deborah, she's also a past guest, by the way. She says, I love Jen's choice of music. Her playlists are always curated with perfection. This 45-minute class was so much fun. It literally flew by. Jen is also so relatable and authentic. I love her rides. She makes everything fun.
Number 2, your favorite international sing-along ride.
Well, and that's the other thing. This one also got a couple of different nominations.
Yeah.
Benny's sing-along from this past weekend, it was Saturday, March 28th. And if you want to take that, it's a 30-minute class. Kevin Ramsey said, I was in the studio live and the singing was louder than the music. Absolutely awesome, which takes a lot because they turn it up in there. That's amazing. And then Jesse Kay said, it was simply a huge party with friends. They're all German songs, but the energy is so captivating that the language becomes completely irrelevant. I love that.
Number 3, your favorite nostalgic ride.
This ride was taught by Hannah Corbin. It was a 20-minute Women's History Month country ride on March 19th. Mindy Jensen said, this ride wasn't hard, but the playlist was all female country artists, and it was the soundtrack of my teens. I was belting all the songs at 4 a.m.
Number 4, your favorite full body strength.
This was taught by Zacharias Nedjetsky, and it was taught on March 21st. It was a 30-minute full body strength. Melissa Solon said, his form cues are amazing. I've been lifting for 20 years, and I find myself making small adjustments. That is quite the flex right there.
Yeah. And then finally, your unstackable.
Okay, so this was taught by Christine Diercole, or Diercole. And it was a 30-minute 90s rock ride on March 27th. Christy Smalley said it was a killer playlist of female artists, and the ride was dedicated to a writer who was fighting breast cancer. Christine pulls off these kinds of rides like only she can do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Taking a look at This Week at Peloton, we've got a gospel run with Kirsten.
We do, yeah. It's going to be on April 5th. It's going to be live 30 minutes gospel run. So if that is your thing, make sure and check that out.
We've also got a Real Routes cobblestone climbs.
I have to say about this Kirsten, I just need to back
Oh,
up for
sorry.
a second.
Yeah.
I just forgot to mention, this is a brand new format. So she's done a lot of intention setting Sundays, which kind of have like a little bit of a
Religious adjacent feel. Yeah.
But this is the first time she's done a gospel one.
Gotcha.
So that's a big deal. So they're doing more and more of these from different instructors.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
That's okay. So cobblestone climbs, does it make you feel like you're shaking the whole time?
I don't think so. But what it does do is give you the idea is to give you very challenging terrain. So this class is going to be on Sunday, April 5th. It's going to be live, 45 minutes. And it is the resistant changes follow real road data. So the effort is going to feel purposeful rather than arbitrary.
Right.
It's going to go live at 8 a.m. Eastern. Whew. So it's going to be an early Sunday morning. But also, by the way, Christian is looking for song picks and he wants recommendations. If you go over to the Clip Out Instagram where we posted an article about cobblestone climbs.
Right.
In the comments, everyone is giving all their song recs. I don't know how that happened, but cool.
Yeah.
Christian,
he popped in.
He was just like, yeah, put your song recs here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Don't mind if we do.
But there's been a lot of song recs, so keep joining in if that's your thing.
We also have yoga and Pilates with Johanna.
We do also live. I'm sorry, this one is going to be on demand, April 3rd. It's going to be yoga and Pilates, and it's going to be 30 minutes long.
There's also 90s Bar with Leanne.
Remember, Leanne is still on maternity leave, so this was recorded prior to her maternity leave.
Okay.
We've got a 20-minute 90s bar. How nice to get a little dose of Leanne while she is on maternity leave.
You'll have a lager drink and a vodka drink.
And a whiskey drink.
Because that's 90s Bar.
Oh, dear.
Peloton is launching an 18-week Pace Your Race marathon program.
They are. This is brand new, and it's the longest running program they've done. I believe I was doing a Susie Chan outdoor run on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And it was 60 minutes long, which, by the way, I overshot. That was too long. But anyway, she said that this is going to be a record 104 classes for a running program. It's going to have strength, it's going to have mobility, and it's going to have long runs built in.
Is your final class a marathon?
Well, the idea is that you do it for 18 weeks, and it's going to roll out on April 24th. So if you do the math, you should be ready just in time for your fall marathon. So, your New York and that type of thing. So if that's something that you have coming up on your fall calendar, or you just want to follow along, this is going to be a great program. Yeah, this is really cool. And Susie was really stoked about it, which means there's going to be lots of fun classes, and it's rolling out on April 24th. So we got to wait a little bit. And I don't know, people have asked. So let me just say, when they say program, does that mean it's going to actually show up in a program? Is it going to show up in a collection? Is it going to be a lot? We don't know.
We don't know, and neither do they.
I mean, they probably do, but they haven't told us.
But sometimes it feels like that.
Sometimes it does. That is true.
We have a new German cross training program.
Yeah. So do you remember that we had the live cross training program we talked about just last week? Where
I
it's
do.
5 days, 5 instructors, 4 weeks. Well, they are also launching one for the German community. So this one is going to be dropping on April 27th, and we're going to have 10 German instructors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's going to be just a couple weeks later than the other one, and it's going to be really fun. One of the really important things that we must note about this program, the English version definitely has row classes. And when you look at the teaser, that's on the teaser in Peloton. But we wonder if maybe one of the German instructors is going to become a row instructor too.
Oh, interesting.
But I will say, I don't see how they could do that when they don't have a rower in the UK or Germany.
Yeah, that seems like an odd combo.
It does.
Yeah.
But I understand the thought process here.
For sure.
And it's a good question.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll find out in a couple weeks.
Peloton honored Trans Day of Visibility.
They did March 31st, and they have more classes that came out for the Trans Day of Visibility. I know Maddie taught one of them, and I believe, I'm trying to get the article to load, I'm so sorry. And Robin taught a class as well. And I think it's wonderful that Peloton recognizes all people.
Absolutely.
Peloton Birthdays.
We have 3 birthdays this week. The first is from Jermaine Johnson on April 5th. and Allie Love on April 6th, and then former Peloton instructor Jennifer Jacobs on April 7th.
Happy birthday to Jermaine and Allie. And Jennifer, wherever you are in Miami hiding, I hope it's a good day.
That was heartfelt. So,
Best I could do.
I guess that brings this episode to a close. Until next time, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can find me on Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, and the Peloton leaderboard at ClipOutCrystal.
And you can find me on Threads and Blue Sky at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/TheClipOut. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/TheClipOut. $5 a month. Ad-free episodes, all sorts of bonus content, early episodes, and so that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep pedaling
And running.
and rowing.
Bye.
Clip in.